4%, some developments, something that we have been working on really, really hard. And we're going to start with, I told you about e-commerce, right? This is actually a 4% branded t-shirt. It's not one of those cheapo, $2 t-shirts with just a slap logo on it. It's actually custom made, custom tailored, custom, cut, fabric picked custom. Really, really good. If you didn't check it out, check it out. Question for you. Do you see where we're going with this?
Yes.
Right? Long-term vision, where we could be. Okay? I don't know, whatever you like. You know what I mean? For picture. What I'm saying is, we're limited to our imagination. You guys agree? Well, over the last 3 days, how many of you guys had like an epiphany moment? To I really know I can do this, right? I mean, we really can. It doesn't matter exactly, we really can't do anything. So we're going to be, the platform that we're launching now that you will see in a bit here, is incredible. It allows us to sell digital and physical. On the physical side, we're tackling e-commerce, okay? So we have a course that we have created called E-com Entrepreneur, okay? Fitting name, because it's designed to teach you, or anybody who want to learn that, how to become independent entrepreneur, not dependent on anybody else. And you can literally build and create your own, just dominate e-commerce. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, resources, connections, strategies, all that is important, but also just as important is the tactics. Okay, how do you do that? How do you promote it? And so I'm very, very excited for this next session here. I'm going to invite Shubham onto the stage. How many of you guys know who Shubham is? Okay. See, a lot of you don't know who he is. Okay, those guys who have no idea who he is, get ready. Because you're about to see something pretty phenomenal. Here's what I'll say. If you have a brand within you, if you want to build something that you can, if you want to build yourself a true brand where you have an online store and you can sell whatever it is that you want to sell, and you want to maximize your profits, okay, you will really, really love this session. Now keep in mind, whatever we're going to talk about now, we're integrating that into the platform and the entire ecosystem of the 4%, and you will be able to integrate this into your system or your platform that all of you will be getting today that we have built for you. Make sense? Stand up on your feet. Let's welcome Shubham to the stage. So you guys, we're gonna go rather quickly here. So you might want to take, just really pay attention. We don't need to share the screen yet. We'll let you guys know when to share the screen. But Shubham, welcome to the stage. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to have you here. And obviously, we'll talk about the e-com entrepreneur course that we created for you, with you. We flew out to the 4% headquarters. We had a lot of fun, right? Amazing. Doing that. Tell everybody who you are, your backstory. What you got going on.
Awesome, yeah, let's get to it. Some of you guys may know me, some of you guys might not. Basically, I create products and brands and we blow them up. We've been doing this since I was 17 years old. And before I get into my story, how I started and what exactly we do, I want to ask you guys a couple questions. How many of you guys own businesses here? Okay, good. I hope everybody in the room. And how many of you guys have ever thought about opening an online store or an e-commerce shop, or are thinking about doing it? Okay, great. So that's exactly the point that I want to reach out to you guys is we create brands, we create products, and we sell them through Instagram, Facebook, all over, right? And so I started off when I was 17 years old, and I was sitting in real estate class. I'm like, okay, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. High school was about to end. I'm going to college. I'm not really someone who likes college, right? I already know it. I don't want to do school. So I'm like, sitting in real estate class, I'm like, okay, I just get an idea. I keep getting people telling me, hey, social media is going to be big. Social media is the way to go. Purchase a page or create a page and sell something on it. And I keep hearing everyone saying, oh, I made a couple $100 today. I made $50. I got a free t-shirt. And I'm like, damn, like, oh, I can get a free t-shirt for posting a photo, right? Let me do that right now. And we get to, I'm sitting in real estate class and I find out about this. You guys remember, like, does anybody remember back 2 years ago when there was this trend? It was like the hoverboard trend. Right? So I created my own brand. How did I do that? I found a factory in China. They created these hoverboards, and I was like, okay, first I got to see whether this thing is legit, right? Because everyone knows when you go to China, you might not know what you might receive when it comes in the actual box. Get the physical product, love it, tested it out for like 2-3 weeks. Why did I test it out? Because I wanted my customer, because the person who's going to purchase this product from me, to have the same quality that I want purchasing something for $500-$600. I want to make sure that it lasts forever, right? So, purchase the product. First thing I did right away. Keep in mind, I've never opened a store, never had an e-commerce site or anything. It just popped in my head. I was like, all right, let me go online, how to create a store. Found this site called Squarespace. Went on it first. Okay, that was the first e-commerce site I've ever used. I was like, boom, buy the product. Now, what's the first thing when you go to buy something, what's the first image you see when you purchase a product? Does anybody know? It's the white background shots, correct? Mm-hmm. So, before we get into my whole story, I want to talk about 2 things today. I want to talk about branding, and I want to talk about content creation. Most important things when it comes to running an e-commerce store is branding and content creation. Why? What's branding? Branding is basically a logo, a symbol, something that differentiates your product compared to any other company or your competition out there, right? And content creation, that's the main key that everybody sees. Your written content right when you go on your site. If you have enough information, don't be lazy. One thing, when you create any type of store, try to put as much information as you can within your product, okay? That's the most important thing, your written content. Then you got your product shots. That's a white background images you see. I'll show you some images of what we've done. Your product shots. So the white background images of exactly what the product is. This has to be very clear, it can't have like wrinkles or anything. Your product has to be super HD right in front of the customer, because that's the final thing the person sees when he's purchasing your product. If it doesn't look nice, they don't want to buy it, right? So your white background shots, now you got your lifestyle images. The thing that grabs the buyer. So the photo that they might see on Facebook, the photo that they might see on Instagram is your content, your lifestyle content, the things, whatever your product's about, you try to show it, correct? Now, that's the most important thing. So you got white background images, you got lifestyle content, and you got written content. Okay? Now we'll go back to branding. How I branded my product. Let's go back to the scooters. Scooter comes, 17 years old, never sold a thing in my life when it comes to products or on e-commerce. Get the scooter, first thing I do, because I know that I gotta have white background images. I don't want to mess my scooter up, scratch it or anything. Take my box and put it right behind a white background. I literally go to the store. This is exactly, I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what I did. I didn't have enough professional studio. I didn't know any photographers. I didn't have enough money to go out and purchase, call a photographer, like, hey, can you help me out with a white background images? No. I had $350 to buy my scooter, bring it to US, okay? I had a couple $100 I knew that I needed for marketing, and $79 to $100 for paying for my site, the monthly stuff, right? Product comes. Now, the hoverboard, it's how I thought of my name, my company name, back to branding. When you look at the hoverboard, it kind of floats. It's like a magic carpet, right? When you ride it, it's like someone's riding a magic carpet. So I was like, okay, I'm not about to name my company Magic Carpet Scooter. I was like, let me think of what I want to create, what I want to name it. It kind of looks like a cloud. I wanted to show people that it's smooth, you can ride it smoothly, and it's fun to ride around. I was like, okay, what's kind of smooth? Car, whatever. boom, I thought of clouds. Cloud scooter, but I didn't want to name it cloud with a C, I named it cloud with a K, just to put some life into it, right? Product comes, I make a logo, literally within, I do this all by myself. I hop online, and I'm like, okay, how do I create a logo? I literally go, I look up a cloud image on Google, I find a white cloud, put it in Photoshop, find a white background, find a black background, put it behind the cloud. Literally, KLOUD, done. My logo's there. Super easy. Now it's more intricate, right? Things we come out with, but boom, cloud scooters out there. Now I'm like, okay, how do I get people to interact with my brand? So I haven't started Instagram yet. I haven't started Facebook. I haven't started anything like that yet. I'm like, okay, boom. Good. I think of a name, think of everything, and right then I'm like, okay, I need, what's cool right now? Hashtags are cool on Instagram, right? So I'm like, okay, I gotta think of a hashtag that I can play with my audience with, right? So whenever, and right then I find out that it's fraud orders. Somebody, I thought if you swipe a credit card, it goes in, or you type in your information, done. Because that's what I do when I go and buy things. I'm not here to scam people, right? And I find out that like 70% of my orders are chargebacks. Right there, 17 years old, I'm like, everything I just made in 3 months is gone? Are you serious? Like, what the hell? Come on. And I'm sitting there that same day, keep in mind, remember I was telling you I was going crazy, I was like talking to everybody like, oh, I made so much money. No one in my family was like, cared about the chargeback. They're all laughing at me like, see, that's what happens when you talk too much. I'm like, oh, what? Okay, sitting there looking at every order. Chargebacks don't come right away. It takes some time. Within that 3 months of every single chargeback coming in, I knew Instagram was hot. Big deal. I still have money in my account. I still can think of another company. I just did it 2 months ago. I'm not about to sit here and cry. I'm just going to go and try to find another product. Before I get into the next thing, my family has factories in India and all around like Europe and stuff. We manufacture clothes for people. We manufacture products already, not like for influencers and stuff, but it was mainly women's stuff. And we weren't too big at the time, but I was like, okay, let's see if I can find something that's cool. Keep in mind, I'm a car lover. I love cars. I'm like, you can tell, I was just talking about the closet around, marketing the product. I'm going to show you guys on my phone right now. I created, right in that 3 months, I was sitting in my room at 3:30 in the morning, about to go to sleep, looking for hours, trying to find a different product I wanted to do. But I love, like I said, I market things that, I look for things that I want to sell because I would purchase it, right? So I find this one product. It's an in-car air purifier. It's been out for years, since like 2007. I find the factory, they're not doing too well. I'm like, okay, this thing's cool. Does it really work? The guy sent me this video of the physical product, how it works. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Keep in mind, 3:30 in the morning. Within 2 hours, I purchased a product, because I had the money to now, purchase some products. It doesn't cost too much. I told you I started with $250, $400 before. Now I have maybe a couple thousand to spend, but I'm still going to go the cheap route. I'm still going to go to get a couple samples, put the images, create the content, try to sell it. If it doesn't sell, you refund your customer, whoever that 1-2 customer might be, done, on to the new thing, right? Purchase a product, create a logo, create a brand, called it Crystal Aura Products. It was crystal because it had a little crystal in it, aura because I didn't want to name it air purifier because it just doesn't sound cool enough. I was like, Crystal Aura, a little bit different, created Crystal Aura Products, launched it in 2 weeks. Product comes in 1 week later I create my site, content, everything within a week. Go quick. You don't want somebody else to come in and take your product. I do very, very quickly. And now marketing, I go in front of, let's go to the photos. I go in front of cars, I go in front of all these people, everyone I know, I'm like, hey, let me take some photos with your cars, right? So let's go to the scooters for a second. You notice how like this has nothing to do with somebody riding a scooter. I try to be creative. So at this time, I'm already selling my product, my scooter, and I'm like, boom, this is kind of creative. It's in a nice luxury car. I'm marketing to a luxury niche. Let's be funny with it. So my caption to this, when people would post, when my advertisers would post me, like Tim or somebody would post, would be, hey, strap it in because this thing's important. Like, it's so important, you gotta you gotta put a belt on it, right? Stuff like this. We be very creative with your stuff. It doesn't have to be, this is how it works. Try to buy it. Come buy it, please, $49.99. No, you play with your audience. You have millions of people you can reach out to. Back in the day, you couldn't do this. If this was 20 years ago, you can never post one photo and reach out to 20 million people at once. Now, all you can do is pay $5 and you have 20 million people. If your product doesn't sell, if you post on somebody's page with 20 million people and you don't sell at least 10 of these products, it's not the person who's posting, it's not the physical product, it's either the way you branded it or the product's not good, right? So let's go to the video. I started marketing the product like this because it's a 12-volt port. You put in your 12-volt port, but I didn't want to just show it plugged in. I wanted to show how the product looked cool. So I took images like this in front of everybody's car, anybody I could find, in front of my cars. I would go. Craziest thing was I would go to different places once I built an audience. So I live in New York. Does anybody know what Chelsea Market is? Yeah. Okay, so I live in New York. I would go to Chelsea Market. I would play my audience at the time. I would post, hey, in 2 hours, everybody meet me in Chelsea Market, whoever's in New York City, and maybe you might get a surprise, maybe you might, and I'm not marketing it as if it's Shubham Singh. I'm marketing it as if I'm a brand. Listen, nobody cares who you are. Everybody cares who your brand is. You'll never see any of my brands, you'll never see me on there in the front page, unless it really blows up and I have to put my name out there. You'll never see me, hey, like emailing Shubham Singh, thanks for contacting us. If someone emails my brand, you know what I say? Thanks for contacting support. Thanks for, like when they DM us, thanks for contacting Crystal or our products. We'll get back to you shortly or whatever, right? You act as if a brand, you don't act as if it's one person in his garage sitting there trying to sell a product. You try to sell it as if you're a big company, you're worth millions, and you're trying to sell to people, and you're not one person sitting there. So let's go back to the images. I play with my audience. I go to places. Let's go back to Chelsea Market. I play with my audience. I go to places and be like, hey, come out here. I give free things out to all my customers. I show them. I talk to people. I just walk around, have a couple of my friends with me, just handing this stuff out. Try to build brand awareness, right? Doesn't matter. You never know. That one person you might reach out to who's going to send that product, tell people about that product 50 times. That's 50 other customers. Okay? Let's keep going. Then we started creating, now I'm like, okay, I did it with one product, I did it with 2 products, I can do it with 50 products now, in my head, right? So I'm trying to find anything and everything, trying to brand it, put my name on it, and sell it. Boom. I create this other company right away, it's called My Bottle. You see how simple this is? Look, it literally is a bottle that says My Bottle on it. Okay, to you guys, this might seem dumb. To everybody all around the world, they were buying it like hotcakes. It was selling like nothing. Why? Because of my images. You notice how, this is some Starbucks coffee in the cup, okay? I had people going out in the fitness world, taking photos, everything. Like, this is not even my images. I have customers sending me images of this. Like I said, play with your audience, have them send you photos, have them interact with you. So, it's basically a bottle. It says, this, don't touch, this is my bottle. It didn't do amazing in the US, but it did amazing internationally. And this is another one of the products we created where literally I'm playing with my audience. I'm giving them the feels of like, oh, this is something cool. I really want to buy this. Like I'm making it into a trend. Like I said, making it viral. So I would literally go out, like have these girls say, don't like hashtag, don't touch, this is my bottle. And it says it on the back. So every little girl on Instagram is looking like, oh my God, this girl's a million followers. She just posted this thing. Why did she say, don't touch, this is my bottle? She clicks on it. Boom, it's just a bottle, $29.99. It cost me a couple bucks to make. I'm making money. I'm getting viral because of this product. Keep going. So I start selling more and more products, right? My thing to you guys is this. Your content is key. Video content is the thing that really killed me, like really blew up. So I'm gonna show you one video right now that we created with the purifiers. Remember I told you, show people how your product works physically. This is a video that went viral. My first video ever that's gone viral. I created it in my car, in the backseat, plug my purifier in. My purifier literally sucks in the air, gets rid of bacteria and viruses, okay? I was trying to reach out to people who smoke, people who care about their health in their car. So with this video, I put a nice song in the back, and you can literally see 15 seconds, that's the only time I had for Instagram, so I have to make sure it's 15 seconds I grab my viewer. You notice how the air clears in the bottle? Done. Now every single person that's a smoker or something that's watching my video is going to be like, what the hell? How did that thing clear in 15 seconds? What is this thing? Whether you're a smoker or anybody who cares about their health is looking at this like, okay, let me click on this. Now you might see all the luxury cars, you might see everything on the page. When you see the price, you're like, $29? Let me buy this. Boom. That's how you get an audience. That video went viral. In 1 week through Facebook, I got 8.6 million viewers on the video. This video got 8.6 million views in 1 week. Literally. Yeah. So, moving on. So this video content right now is key. So when you create products, make sure video is the way to go. And we just kept going. I just kept moving on forward. We just kept moving on. We just kept coming out with different products. I kept playing with my audience, kept giving them cool new things. Listen, you can either go with the trend, you can go and sell the fidgets, right? You don't have to put your brand on it. You don't have to like make it into a brand. You might sell 10, 20, 50 different 50 items, right? No, we don't want to do that. We want to create a physical brand here. That's what I suggest to everybody here. It doesn't matter whether you're selling bags, it doesn't matter whether you're selling anything, bracelets, whatever it is. I had this guy in the 4% group last night come up to me. Hey Shiva, I know you're in the e-commerce field. Can you help me out? I have a store right here. I'm like, okay, let me see your store. Let's see how it is. I sold 300,000 units. I'm like, okay, did you sell 300,000 units? I mean, $300,000 in what? Through your store? I go to his store. I'm like, he's like, yeah. Like, I go to his store. I'm looking at the store. I swear to you, no information. All he has is photos from his factory. White background images that the factory gives you. No branding on the product. Like, he doesn't put the name on the product. He doesn't, nothing to do with lifestyle images, no content, no written content. I'm like, listen, it's physically impossible that you sold 300,000 of these. I want to know now how you sold it on your website, because I would never buy something from your website. He has 500 SKUs. He doesn't have an about us. He doesn't have an FAQ. Keep in mind, written content is key. Always have FAQs. Meaning frequently asked questions that you think people would ask you, right? Tell them the shipping time, tell them how long you're going to come. What I like to do is I like to give free shipping, free returns, because if you have a big enough margin, your customer does not want to pay for shipping. You know, think about it, when you go and buy a product, the first thing you look at is like, you're like, oh, okay, $50, then you go to shipping, it's like $25. What the? $75 down paying for the product? You don't want to buy it. Now imagine you go to $50 and shipping's free, and you might even get a free return, so you're thinking, oh wow, I might buy the product. Let me buy the product, see how it is, and I'll think about returning it. Every single person, I can tell you, maybe 10% of the people will probably return. 90% of the people are too lazy to go to their house or to their post office with a package and be like, here, let me return it. People have too much things going on to want to go return it, something that costs 30, 40, 50, even $100. Okay? So give them the free returns, give them the free shipping, because that's how you grab that person. Once that sale's done, you don't really have to worry about that person. Just interact with them, be nice to them, send that email, thanks for purchasing, all that. Your product, if it's good enough, is going to do the rest of the work. Right when it's at his house, I guarantee you will not want to return it. So we basically start branding the product. That's what my key to you guys is. When you go to purchase anything from Alibaba or any of these guys, right? Everybody does it. But the way I'm telling you to do it is, when you go to speak to your factory, or whoever it is, let's talk about bracelets right now. I'm gonna think of a random name. One bracelet, boom, that's the name. You create a logo, everything. You go on Alibaba, you find this guy that creates bracelets, or this factory that creates bracelets, and you're like, okay, I like these bracelets, I want to put my touch to it. So you add your logo to the product, you add your branding basically to the product, you have them create a nice box for you. Think about it, presentation is key. right when that box comes, that person, that $30 product, if that box is really nice, goes from, oh my God, to, damn, this is sick. Like, that $30 in their eyes is already paid for because of the physical packaging, because of the things that are inside the box. Then he looks at the product, that product, even if it's $50, $100, $1,000, it feels like $1 million to that customer because of what you've given him, what you've shown that person, right? You make them feel good. So, get that product, create a brand out of it, make sure, don't be lazy, guys. Like, I try to tell everybody, like, whenever I see people come up to me, can you check my store, can you do this? I had another guy last night show me his store, his wife's brand, I know he's somewhere in here. He was like, hey man, my wife has a baby shop, a baby clothes shop, and he's like, can you show me, she's been marketing, advertising, can you show me why stuff's not selling? I go in a store and they had some good images, but their images weren't directed towards the physical clothes. And I'm like, okay, one, your clothes, like you're trying to sell clothes, but there's nothing here that says they're clothes for babies, right? So show that. Two, no content. He didn't even fix up the site. Well, the wife didn't even fix up the site from Shopify. I like Shopify. It's my favorite thing. That's what we sell on. He didn't even literally write any content or whatever all he did was import his products, put a logo on the site, and try to sell it. Like I said, please guys, don't do that. It's like the main thing on how to sell a product is branding. You want to brand to the customer. Once you create a brand, you can go for years years throughout selling that same product or upgrading, keep going. That's what I like to do now. So what I like to do is I like to create a brand that lasts forever. So I created a clothing line, I'll get into it right now. It's called Little Legion. I found a factory in Italy, and I basically wanted to create something that lasts forever, something that that competes with the big dogs, the Gucci's, the Louis, all these guys. Why? Because it's easy. I know how to market, right? You use Instagram, you use Facebook, you use the targeted ads, you do retargeting, you use ad, connect all these things on your site, and you're bound to sell something, right? So I was like, okay, Gucci shoes sell for $500-$600. I'm gonna sell for, if my product, if I can get it cheap enough, for almost a third less than what they sell for, right? So, one, my pricing is lower than what anybody else would be selling for in my market. Two, my product's made with quality. Now, how do I show somebody like you guys sitting here how my product's made with quality? Let me show you right now. So, let's go down. Good? Boom. Our shoes are made with Python, so I'm showing how the Python's being cut. This is Instagram photos, directly from my Instagram. I'm showing the physical factory, the physical place creating the shoes. And now somebody like you does not create value from the product, right? It's being handmade. So I'm literally giving my customers exactly how they create it. You can do that with any product. If the content's written correctly, you can amaze doesn't matter if it's a $50 product or a $300 product, you can sell it with the right written content. That's what I'm trying to say, don't be lazy with your stuff. And yeah, this is my logo, pretty plain, simple. It doesn't say anything about handmade shoes. It doesn't say anything about cheap or anything. You notice that's plain, simple, right in your face, done, right? We do that with all the stuff. Now you notice my background images. You notice how clear that is? This photo, all my photos cost me $50. I'm not, still till this day, I'm not putting a big budget into my images. Why? Because I don't need to. All you do, I rented a photo studio for $50, got my friend who's a photographer, went out, and just went to the studio, started shooting white background images. You guys notice this is it's like any other site, any other big person, any other big brand. Their images are almost the same. You notice how clear the image is? Same thing. We did the same thing with all of our lifestyle images. We tried to appeal the audience, and yeah, so we kept moving from there. And now I'm here on the stage talking to you guys about how I brand my products and how we started. But yeah.